So we saw Table 19, which after we got out of Brandon For Me has got like a cool 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is super annoying because I loved this movie.
I was looking forward to this movie going into it. Like, I was sold on the trailers for it, and I just heard that it wasn't very good. And then I saw some early reviews on Before I Fall. I saw some. I'm not being a smartass when I do that. By the way, I swear to God, I'm not. I'm legitimately reminding myself what it was called. The poster's down there, by the way. Yeah, I went to go see the re-release of Legends of the Fall earlier. Still dreamy. No, like, so I had heard this movie wasn't very good, honestly. So, and then I also heard some fairly decent reviews for Before I Fall. So I thought, like, am I going to get the better movie seeing it at 4 p.m. by myself, and then Sarah and I are going to see something that's bad or disappointing or something? But no, that movie I thought was just forgettable, whatever. But I really, really liked Table 19.
Yeah, it's the kind of romantic comedy that I like, where it's not just boy meets girl, boy gets to know girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back again.
Yeah.
It's like a table full of really interesting characters that you find stuff out about bit by bit by bit as the movie progresses. And then it's like an interesting, twisty sort of love connection. Several interesting, twisty sort of love connections. So I definitely recommend it.
I do too.
I'm hard pressed to talk about it because I don't want to ruin stuff.
You know what? I don't either. And when I was watching this movie, because I know people who have seen it, so throughout the movie, I was thinking, like, is this gonna get, like, is this gonna start to get bad or something? And it never did for me, like, at all. It wasn't like there was any kind of weird third act twist thrown in there or anything like that. Like, I was legitimately enjoying myself in this. I was watching this movie thinking, like, this really feels like it would be like this quirky indie romance movie from like the mid-late 90s, and I would have seen it in the theater then and really loved the hell out of it, and luckily my taste really hasn't changed that much, so I did really love this movie. It debuted really, I mean, it's not on that many screens, but it debuted really low on the box office at like 17 or something like that. I mean, it didn't cost that much to make anyway, but you might hear some...
a wedding venue.
Huh?
I said just rent out a wedding venue.
Yeah, right. No, like, if it's playing on a screen near you, and, like, I think this is a really underrated movie, honestly.
It's worth seeing in theaters, I'd say.
Yeah, same
Like, every
here.
time Stephen Merchant opens his mouth, I was just cackling, and, like, Anna Kendrick is so... She's adorable, but she's, like, nuanced and complex in this movie. Like, you can tell in the scenes where she's awkward, and not like in a cute romantic comedy sense of awkward, but like how awkward people actually are, like kind of mean and prickly and floppy in the moment that I kind of identified with. And then Craig Robinson and Lisa Kudrow play this married couple that, like, their interplay is really fun to watch, and
it is.
I wouldn't have pictured them as being a couple because the stuff that I know them from is just so widely separated, but it worked really, really well.
No, their chemistry is fantastic because they have really good chemistry as this couple that's been together for a long time, and they're giving each other a lot of shit.
But in the way.
Yeah, in the way that only people who have been together that long, like, give each other. And what I like about this movie is all of these characters, I mean, easily carry this film perfectly. Like, this movie doesn't shy away from how fucked up some people are, like, in a realistic way, not oh, and then one of them's a serial killer. Like, no, nothing like that. But I mean, it is a movie about a group of people who are at a wedding, and they're at the table where you'd put people at a wedding that if you didn't think they'd show up, or it was just kind of like an obligation invite or something like that. So they're people with some emotional problems, or maybe just some weird personal connections with some of the people at the wedding, and the movie doesn't shy away from that at all. The movie actually, and it doesn't play it cartoonish, it plays it fairly I mean, it's still a comedy at the end of the day, so some silly stuff happens in it, but it's still really...
falls, but it works in the moment.
It does. It works in the moment. It doesn't feel like something that's lazy, or in fact, the movie is really smart about working with cliches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, for instance, there's a bit with a wedding cake in it, and you're expecting, when you see the wedding cake pop up a couple times, you kind of expect in any really kind of lazy comedy that at some point someone's going to fall into that. The way they do it here isn't like some like Three Stooges kind of pratfall or something
absolutely.
like that.
It's like you see the cake and you're like, all right, that's going to get smashed. But, okay, cake gets smashed. You don't expect it to happen when the cake gets smashed.
Yeah, you don't, and it doesn't...
And it's not the end. It's not the climax of the cake story.
Yeah, no, it's not. And it's not an awkward thing where everyone at the wedding turns around and goes, oh!
Fucking no one notices, because who would at a wedding?
Yeah, exactly. And even how they play with certain, like, romantic interest cliches in the film. Because when the movie starts out, you think one thing about a character and another thing about another character, and it kind of reverses as the movie goes along.
Yeah.
And the movie's really smart about doing that, because both of them are fairly unpredictable when they both happen. There's one guy... her ex is also involved with the wedding, and the movie kind of starts out, you're thinking this is going to be the bad guy in the film.
Jed Mosley.
Yeah. And then, meanwhile, like, there's, like, handsome rom-com dude who shows up at one point, and at first you think, like, okay, well, that's
Here's
probably...
our romantic lead.
It doesn't do that at all. Like, it really kind of plays with that. It plays with your expectations on that in a way that still feels fresh. Not that it feels like it's... Because other movies have kind of done things like that,
Yeah, it's not being real cute about it. It just kind of is, you know?
And it's... The strength of this movie, too, is... Because this is a dialogue film. Like, it's 100% these actors and the dialogue. It's a real actor's movie. And the dialogue in the movie, I thought, was witty. I thought it was sharp. The comedic timing on all the actors is fantastic. I mean, when you've got Lisa Kudrow and Stephen Merchant involved in your movie, I mean, they have comedic timing to spare. And Anna Kendrick is excellent in this film.
She's so good. Some people hate her for, like, no good reason, Brian. And that's the only thing that's the only reason I could think of why it would have gotten bad reviews. Because
Brian reviewed it.
Yes, because it was just 50 Brians being like, I don't like her mouth, babe.
Well, it's like, it's not that whenever I see, like, a critical consensus for a movie, I don't instantly think, like, well, that means I'm gonna dislike it, or, well, that means I'm gonna... That's not the case at all, especially if you've seen what some of my favorite movies are. No, that's not the case at all. There are just some movies where you can maybe get a little surprised if you see it's not going over very well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, all the movies that I like that are critically panned, I objectively understand why that's the case. This movie, I can't see why people wouldn't like it.
I haven't read any reviews for it. I just kind of saw what, like, a consensus was from audiences and also from people I know who have seen it, and also just, like, a general kind of critical consensus. I'm worried. So I don't know.
The problem is I'm worried that I'm going to read a review and be like, oh shit, they're right, and it's going to ruin this movie for me. So that being the case, maybe I just won't even read any reviews.
Don't read a review. It turns out this movie's really racist.
Oh no, I didn't see. I gotta stop recommending this movie to people.
Like, yeah, is the director secretly a Nazi or something?
I really hope not.
No, it's okay. You can, like,
I can work my head around it.
Yeah.
Like the Volkswagen Beetle or that... who's the guy who designed the Nazi uniforms that still, like, is in fashion? Hugo Boss.
Oh, okay. Is it Tim Gunn? See?
Make it work. That's my...
Yeah, no, I really recommend this movie. I do. I don't know how many... I know it got kind of a limited release. It's a Fox Searchlight movie. If it's playing in Springfield, it's probably playing in a lot of other places, too. But if you get a chance to see this in the theater... I recommend seeing this in the theater, and do it fairly quick, because it might not be out long.
It's a good date movie.
It's totally a good date movie.
Because it's like... It's fun for a girl and a boy, but like it's thoughtful, you know. But it is a romantic movie. I came out feeling feelings of love.
I was genuinely happy when with the resolutions of this movie.
Yeah,
I thought they were really sweet. It felt honest. It felt real, and the acting really sells it. Honestly, like what happens at the end of this movie are things that you'd want to happen in this story.
Yeah, it doesn't turn out that, she pushes a girl out of the way and gets hit by a bus.
Oh, fuck, right? Like, again, why does anyone have to die in that movie?
Makes friends with everyone and then gets hit by a bus.
Damn you, J.J. Abrams! Right, like, yeah, this is a much better movie than Before I Fall. It is. This movie's not Groundhog Day for your little sister.
You leave my sister out of this. Shall we do previews?
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Yeah, totally.
Okay, the last word.
Oh, the Shirley MacLaine movie.
Oh, right. That looked dumb.
That could go either. That could be something that could be...
It's like Shirley MacLaine, Amanda Seyfried, and her little black kid sidekick. Writing Shirley MacLaine's obituary?
Shirley MacLaine is...
She gets a radio show?
Yeah. Shirley MacLaine is so good, though, that, like, maybe it could be something that, like, might be good just because it's starring...
Just elevate the material?
Yeah. It's kind of like when you see, like, Jack Nicholson in something that sucks. I don't know. I mean, this is a trailer that included the line... She puts the bitch in obituary, so who knows how good this will be.
What will you play? The question is, what will I play after I play the Kinks? Oh, this old lady's got street cred.
Pretty sure I heard Dave say that same sentence once.
He is the Shirley MacLaine of our era.
He is.
I would go home and that's gonna be the first thing I'm out. David, guess what we said about you in the review?
2 meals for Sister Dave.
That goddamn Dave Lorax popped back up on Facebook the other day.
It's because it was in my memories, so
it made me laugh again.
I shared the fuck out of that. The Dave Axe.
Which was the one? Dave Hauer. The one that you broke his Facebook account with.
Okay, so one time I did this prank to Dave where I used to be able to get into his Facebook page just fine and I would fuck around with shit on there. Like, I would just go on there and put, like, lyrics to, like, Dreams by the Cranberries. Like, his friends would respond and go, like, damn, Dave, that's deep. And
are you okay?
One time, Aaron was like, is that the Cranberries? One time I had a Photoshop picture. I think this is in my photos on Facebook, but I had a Photoshop picture of Dave. I say Photoshop, but I mean Microsoft Paint. It was Dave's face on Boomhauer from King of the Hill's body and it said Dave Hauer. And then I went to go get into Dave's Facebook and he changed his password again. But luckily I knew his email password. So I had to reset all these different passwords. And I was thinking in my head, is this too much? What I settled on was he would do the exact same thing to Nick, so I feel like I should do this. So I did, and then so Dave couldn't get into anything and was freaking out, like he thought he got hacked, and he spent like hours...
like 3 hours on the phone with Facebook.
Yeah, this was like years ago.
When you could actually call these people.
Yeah, like, see, he was still living in Chicago at the time. So then, like, 3 hours later, after all this mess, he took a break halfway through to go to a bar just to get a drink to calm his nerves. He thinks he's gonna go in there and it's some massive hack, but no, he goes in there and Dave Hauer. He's sitting there like, Dave Hauer, all of this shit for fucking Dave Hauer? What the motherfucker? And he's fucking texting me. He's like, you talking fucking Dave Hauer, you son of a bitch. He puts it on his Facebook. Like, God damn it, Brad, fucking Dave Hauer, all this shit that I had to do. His mom like responds and says like, what's wrong, son? Or something like LOL or something.
And that's why Dave Hauer's my favorite.
Yeah, I still got that picture in my Facebook.
Mad Dave is the best Dave. How to be a Latin lover.
I don't know about that. Like,
there are some funny points in the preview, but in a way that makes me feel like those are the only funny points in the movie.
There's also a part in the preview where he just takes a shit in a swimming pool, so it's like...
He didn't take a shit in the swimming pool.
That wasn't shit?
No, what happened was he had like salt and pepper in his hair and in his chest hair, and he's like, oh no, I look like my grandpa. He looked over, he saw shoe polish. So then it showed him by the side of the pool, and he's got like fingerprints on his chest, but his hair's black and his chest hair is black, and the old lady was giving him the eye. Then he jumped in the pool, bloosh, all the shoe polish came off.
That makes way more sense to me, because I was seriously sitting there like, how's this not a Red Band trailer? Like,
how fucking that's so gross, because it was just like liquid.
Right? It's like I just saw this in that stupid Masterminds movie. Ken Marino's directing it, and I like him.
But for me, he's a little hit or miss. Mm-hmm. Like, I like the State guys, but Ken Marino specifically, sometimes he's just a little over the top for me.
You weren't a fan of
Ten Commandments?
Men Behaving Badly?
I don't even remember what that one was.
That was a Rob Schneider sitcom it ran for 2 seasons, and the first season was Ron Eldard, and then he was replaced by Ken Marino. And I remember 90s Brad liking it. I remember Ron Eldard being really funny on that. Mm-hmm. Justine Bateman was on there too. No clue how it holds up.
Probably not well. Baywatch, which we've discussed before. It looks good. Let's move on. It'll
most likely be me and Allison at that one.
Oh, man. That's all right. I'll see it on Netflix. Trainspotting 2.
I hope that comes to Springfield.
I've never seen Trainspotting 1.
Oh,
but
really?
I like the song that they played in the preview. And honestly, I keep meaning to get around to it.
It's a great fucking movie.
It's just, it's one of those things where I have to sit down and be like, today I will watch Trainspotting.
Yeah. It'll be a fun day.
Yeah, do some heroin to prepare myself.
Exactly. Yes, lock yourself in a room. That'll be one where it's like, okay, as soon as it comes to like something like in Bloomington or Champaign, I might make the drive to go see it because I don't want to risk it not coming to Springfield.
Mm-hmm. Everything. That
looked bad.
Which one was that?
That was that, like, Girl in the Plastic Bubble movie.
Oh, fucking Space Between Us.
Yeah, except it was shot like one of those, like, Lifetime thrillers. Mm-hmm. So I kept expecting something sinister to happen.
It's like, that Marky Mark Reese Witherspoon movie.
Fear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of was, honestly. Like, because that's how it's shot. Well, then that's a really huge, like, twist.
It is, basically, because the plot of the plot from what the preview makes it out to be is she's got, like, some sort of disease where she's ultra sensitive to diseases and germs, and she falls in love with the boy across the street, and he talks her into getting out of the house and going to the ocean with him, effectively dooming her to death. Mm-hmm. So I suppose in, like, the slow con sort of sense, he is a murderer.
This movie is from the makers of Me Before You, so...
this is probably not going to end well.
Oh, it'll end well for us. And for your worst of 2017 list.
Come on. It's okay. She wanted it. Gifted.
Oh, the Chris Evans.
He's
got a smart daughter.
He's got a smart niece.
Niece.
After whom he's looking after. And,
right.
And he wants her to live a normal life, but she's, like, super smart, so her grandma's like, why not send her to a college? And he's like, no, my sister would have wanted this way. And then it turns out he doesn't have health insurance, and he's been to jail, and I was supposed to root for him to still get the kid, and I'm kind of like,
You know what? I was thinking, I've gotten this trailer, like, 20 times, and every time I get this trailer, I'm like...
Let her stay in his life, absolutely, but he shouldn't be in charge of her if he doesn't have health insurance and he's been in and out of jail.
That, and it's like, I want her to be a kid, and they're like, but she's really smart, and it's like, you can do both.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Well, plus it showed her in the classroom, and Jenny Slate's the teacher, and she's like, what's 3 plus 3? And the little girl's like, everyone knows it's 6. And Jenny Slate's, okay, well, what's 42 times 57? And she's like, the correct answer. And everyone's like, I can't do math in my head. And so it's like, the argument to leave this girl in the grade that she's in, taught by this teacher, doesn't hold up to that scenario, because it's like, well, then how is she being enriched? In what way is she going to move forward with her studies?
Yeah.
If you're trying to teach her 3 plus 3, she's not only not learning anything, she's being disruptive, because now none of the other kids got a chance to try and answer what's 3 plus 3.
And you can still do things other kids do, too, even if you're learning at a higher level. Like
send her to summer camp or some shit.
Right, yeah. I'm like, I don't know.
Because, like, I knew from gifted kids growing up, they are not good at interacting with, like, bugs in nature, so you'd be bolstering your weak points.
I like how it says, Mark Webb directed this, so the trailer says from the director of 500 Days of Summer. It would have been way funnier if it said from the director of Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, Captain America is right there.
Makes sense, because I did not enjoy 500 Days of Summer.
I never saw that, which I should.
Borrow Dave's copy.
Of course he has that.
During this phase in your relationship where you each sit down with like the movies that you particularly like and be like, this one, yes, this one, no, really, all right, this one, absolutely. And he's like, 500 Days of Summer. I'm like, I've never seen it. He's like, oh, well, then you're in for a treat, my friend. And
Laura doesn't like that movie either. I didn't
make it all the way through it. It's just a stone cold bummer.
Because
I objectively understand that it's good, but.
Well, I like Zooey Deschanel a lot, and Laura really doesn't. And I go like, oh, how come? She goes, oh, because of 500 Days of Summer. Like, maybe I shouldn't see it, because I like enjoying Zooey Deschanel's work.
Like, because her and Joseph Gordon-Levitt work off of each other really well. And there's like a dancy-prancy thing that they did together that I really enjoyed watching. But 500 Days of Summer, it's you're basically watching this guy try to have a relationship with his image of what a woman should be, and she's meanwhile being the actual person that she is.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like flipping back and forth through time, and like it's interesting the way they did it. It's just super not my kind of movie. It's like rolling towards an inevitable doom.
Yeah, Laura said the exact same thing about the movie. So I don't know how much I'll see it at some point. It's just one of those that's on a list of stuff I should have seen, but never really got around to it.
I think you could probably skip it, but that's just me. Wilson.
That looked delightful.
I haven't, because it's based on a Daniel Clow graphic novel.
I believe you mean Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I haven't read that one, but maybe I will check it out before the movie comes out so that I can do a comparison.
That trailer's hilarious. I've gotten the Red Band trailer for that a few times. It's pretty much that, except it leaves in all the fucks. There was a lot. In fact, it was really weird seeing the trailer that took the fucks out of it. It felt like watching edited for TV Scarface. No, that looked really funny. It's Woody Harrelson being old, bitter, and vulgar. Like, I'm sold.
That one does also look like a stone cold bummer, but since it's based off of a book, I will see it.
Yeah, that's one that I hope comes to Springfield too.
It seems like we've been getting some of the littler ones.
Sometimes, I mean, there's ones that just don't come here, like that Joel Edgerton Loving movie never came to Springfield, even though I kind of wanted to see that. It's the one where it's the six. You and Brian got the trailer for it, where it's the 60s, and it had Nick Kroll as like a lawyer in a dramatic role, because I remember you guys were talking about that in the trailer. It was about an interracial relationship in the South.
Yeah.
That never came to Springfield.
Didn't he get nominated for an Oscar?
I think the actress did. The actress did. So like that never came here, but like fucking Voiceless did.
All the myriad Jesus movies you've had to see over the years. We can't get a movie about an interracial couple.
Right? It's alright, Case for Christ will be coming out in a few weeks. Is Genesis History was still playing in there.
Sometimes I hate my town.
Not me. I love seeing this shit with Dave. So I could see Dave yell at a bus full of Bible kids.
Shut the fuck up!
Damn, Dave! Not even Satan's that mean to him.
I'm trying to phase the household slowly but surely towards not swearing so much in front of the baby, so that when she's old enough to like repeat words back at us, not so many of them are F-bombs. It is slow going.
Don't worry about that. My mom cursed in front of me all the time. Can you tell?
I've been working a lot of like, what the haze into conversation because I want her to have catchphrases. Like, cut it out.
Oh, God.
We're all out of toner.
Dynamite!
Not the mama. Shut up.
Oh, God. Did I do that? Good Lord.
Would you like some cheese? Remember, you like cheese a whole bunch.
Well, good. It sounds like she's being raised on some of the same sitcoms I was. I think there's only one movie on Thursday, and that's Kong. I don't think anything else comes out.
I tried calling dibs on that one, and Brian beat me to it. It's okay if he cancels at the last minute. You can call this guy.
Oh, I will. In fact, if you still want to come, there's no law that says 3 people can't see a movie.
Yay!
That's Thursday night, so,
Mark Evan Jackson's in that one. He's one of my favorites.
I can't wait for Nam Kong. Oh, so good. See ya.
Bye.